as more evidence keeps trickling in on the where and when Gabby Petito actually went missing, Brian Laundrie looks even more guilty. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and thanks for all of you keeping up track with this Gabby Petito case. She is still missing. If you're unaware of what this story is, you can start here. I'll put you a playlist here of our Gabby coverage because, look, this case has now wrapped the nation, and a lot of us are getting very invested as to figuring out what happened here. And now with Brian missing, time is ticking. And there's two things I want to share with you in today's video. So we know, accordingly, that the parents received texts from Gabby on August 27th and August 30th. But the more and more we look into this, I don't think those were texts from Gabby. I think those were texts from someone who had Gabby's phone. Brian is what my speculation here is. And I want to go through a couple of pieces of evidence to show that. So as you can see here, August 27th, August 30th, no service in Yosemite, even though she had previously told the family they were heading to the Grand Teton National Park, 800 miles away from Yosemite. It's a long drive to get there. So again, remember these dates, August 27th and August 30th. And remember that he showed up in Florida with the van on September 1st. Now, could she have been left in Yosemite and going there? Potentially, but seems odd that she would have been without the van, still doing this journey on her own. And in fact, props to Red, White, and Bethune, who actually posted this recently. They have footage of the van on August 27th. And when you actually go through this footage, particularly this stuff...
We're coming up on it. We're approaching it up here on the left-hand side.
There's two things you got to look at here.
Gabby Petito's Ford Transit van. It's kind of wild. Like, it's saying a little bit because we drove past. We actually weren't able to find any sites, and we ended up driving back through, saw it again.
Florida plate.
But here it is on the left. So.
And I slowed it down so you can possibly see it a little bit better.
Now, a lot of evidence to have
for a late Saturday evening, but
so it's Saturday, August 27th, and at 6 p.m. They said.
We just
in Grand Tetons.
I had a brain fart. Oh my God, there's that van. So if anybody can help, I know the FBI is looking for all the help they can get onto the case.
That's why we're reporting this. Now, again, I've slowed it down and I've zoomed in. There's a few things here, and props to, I'll get some props to some where this stuff has been coming from, and a lot of people reporting, but there's a flip-flop here. So flip-flop on the floor, allegedly Gabby's flip-flop here on the floor by the bottom of the van. Now, she could have just thrown them off and kicked them off and was sleeping in there. Who knows? Could have fallen out. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. However, as you see there with the flip-flop, it is weird that it's a lone flip-flop. Others have called out, Gabby was very vocal about her OCD. Why is there just a random flip-flop there? Take that as you will. Many people are. But after, seeing there the whole footage of the van, her hat, etc. in there, there's another thing people have noticed. Zoom ahead here. And I don't know if I concur to this, but we're looking at everything. Some people are wondering if there's somebody back there seemingly digging. However, as I look at it, I can't confirm that or deny that. It looks like there's just something back there. As I was actually zoomed, I saw a House and Habit is where I got a lot of this information, and she's just gathering a lot of information as possible. When I first saw it on her feed, I was like, no, but it looks like there's some sort of equipment back there. I don't see a person digging. But some people, seeing it far away, who knows what, it's unclear. It's very blurry, everything in this, but some people out there are trying to say, could that be what happened? Could this be where he did something and buried?
As we're coming up.
Now, I think that, as you see, there's a little trail there. Take that as you will. Regardless of whether that's real or not, these dates are important. Now, as I go back here and focus on this one, House and Habit I always plug because it does good research, and that's where I stumbled upon some of this. So I want to give it more of a platform announcement. But yeah, this is 100% their van, hat on the dash, huge giveaway, stickers, the back, ladder, 100% Gabby's van. It's a 36-hour drive from where you saw the van to Florida, where he turned up with the van on the 1st, with stops and sleep, even hard driving. I'd say it took at least 50 hours. It's an interesting take there because, again, this is on the 27th. They're parked there, and then he just immediately drove out here. Someone had noticed that it looked like a person digging the field behind the van. As you approach the van, you can see what people are referring to on the left edge of the screen, and they do it here too, but it's so blurry as it comes up. That's what I zoomed into. This is I wanted to zoom because I think it's important you guys see. I don't think that's someone digging. As you actually go back and look at it clear, as I zoomed in and clear, it looks like, there you go, looks like some sort of irrigation system or something. I zoomed in as best I can, but I don't think that's someone digging. But who knows? Hard to tell. It's very out of focus, but I got a little crisper than what they saw there. Regardless, the dates are crucial, and that's what this was. Figuring out when. Smear by Brit is another person who gave House and Habit all this information. A lot of people, we're all sharing information as best we can to get the word out there. And the date as to when is really questionable. And so as they're sort of trying to figure out that they say of every day, there's holes except for every day on the 26th. What happens between 25th and 26th? 27th, the van is seen. 28th is missing details. 28th, they pick up a clean showered Laundrie at the Coulter Bay. He panics and they pull over at Jackson Dam, which has a straight shot back to Spread Creek, spotting if that's where he's headed. So was the possible murder on the 28th? Actually, I'd put it on the 26th because the van is empty on the 27th, which we would have been in the timeline. The shoe is outside the van, which doesn't fit her MO. So the 26th is killing me. We need to find out where Brian was on that day. I think that could pinpoint her location. So a lot of details about that date. Well, on
Jackson
the
Hole
27th,
Airport.
this is Hunter Lee Manny's TV chef. Hunter Lee made his first TikTok here to explain a run-in he had
August
with
26th, Thursday, that morning. And we went through Jackson Hole. Then we went through the Tetons and Yellowstone. We came out the West Gate, and we stayed at West Yellowstone, Montana, for the evening. We went out to a restaurant that night called Bullwinkle's, and about 10 o'clock we moved into the bar. There was us and another couple that we had met while we were eating dinner. We were discussing things, politics, guns, hunting, all the stuff you don't talk about in a bar. And there was a guy at the end of the bar that was just quiet. He was visibly bothered or mad, it looked like, when we came in. And I guess our conversation just kind of irritated that fact when he finally made a comment, something about stupid Southerners and Republicans. And I kind of laughed and said, well, where are you from? And he said that he was from New York in a pretty strong New York accent.
Now, pause there because a lot of people are calling out, he doesn't have an accent, as others have now called out. He's this guy Hunter is clearly from the South, and I've had this experience as I moved to Florida too, as did the people in House and Habits thread. A lot of times someone from the South hears any East Coast accent like that, and it sounds like a New York accent. So that could be what he means here.
And said his name was Brian. And I said, as we laughed, I said, you picked an odd place, the middle of nowhere, a small town in Montana. What did you expect that you weren't going to run into any conservatives or Republicans? Anyway, not much else was said. He made a couple of remarks, and we went back to our conversation. It was just a creepy encounter. It was one of those situations where it was kind of one of those people, it was almost like he looked through you. I didn't notice him using a phone, things that the FBI have asked. We did notice that he had a backpack. We left about 11:50, and he was still there. My friend was visibly uncomfortable. She even made a comment on the way to the car about serial killers and kept watching behind us to make sure he wasn't following us. And I assured her that it wasn't an issue. I mean, I'm concealed carry. I was actually armed when we were in the bar. And we went to the hotel. We did talk about it on the way home. It was odd. In the last few days, though, we've watched the news and realized that was the guy. That was Brian, this girl's fiance. So we contacted the FBI. Both of us made reports to the FBI. And just kind of watching the news now and seeing where it goes. But that was our encounter.
So again, this is in Montana.
Okay, guys, I had to remake my
where they find him. Did she? Where in Montana was this? Trying to put this together. They had the same reasoning I did. So I can't. Where in Montana was this? Because I want to try and do the map of it. Maybe it was called.
video. It seems like I had done enough TV, I would be good at this,
You know,
but
TikTok
this is
doesn't
my
let you
first
follow it.
TikTok. This is in regards to the Brian Laundrie and
hold on, he
Gabby,
says in the
the
beginning.
missing girl.
Why don't they let you have a
I had
scroll bar?
taken a trip the end of August from Louisiana up through Colorado and Montana and Wyoming. I picked a friend up at the Jackson Hole Airport on August 26th, Thursday, that morning. And we went through Jackson Hole. Then we went through the Tetons and Yellowstone. We came out the West Gate. And we stayed at West Yellowstone, Montana for the evening. We went out to a restaurant that night called Bullwinkle's. And
Bullwinkle's in West Yellowstone. Okay, so hold on. Let's try and find that really quick. So, Bullwinkle's. There it is. Is it? Oh, no, it's in Wilsonville. Portland, no. Bullwinkle's. Yellowstone. Can't find it. Helps that I could type. Anyway, I was trying to pinpoint this. I should have done that before we obviously went there, but there we go. I guess this is around that area. The Yellowstone Park in Wyoming. So there you go. So around the area where he would have been, given where we were just looking at. Around the Grand Tetons where they were staying. Now, what's interesting here is, again, it's not Yosemite. None of this is Yosemite around those dates that she would have been in. So she either went and split off and went to Yosemite, which seems odd, right? All these witnesses, everything we're looking at, showing that she's nowhere near there. She's out here in Wyoming, Montana area, while Yellowstone would be over here. Again, that was a very long distance between them. All of this pointing out that, man, Brian, you really aren't looking good. As you watch and see this, that he's alone in this sort of empty van. Now, did they separate? Again, I hate this to completely speculate because, again, while he seems hella guilty, as they're talking about sort of this parked out, what's happening here? And while I understand that this doesn't look like someone digging, it does fit the picture that a lot of us are all having in our heads. It could be somebody bent over, for all I know. It's really blurry, as you guys can see there. But man, there's a lot we need to figure out, and that date is crucial. 25th to the 27th is now the period where it does seem like she went missing. And someone was texting. Now, the good news is the FBI has retrieved her phone, so we'll know the locations of her last texts and stuff. And these are the types of things that I think would send someone like Brian a little crazy if he's trying to cover his tracks and why he's on the run. He's not missing. Let's make sure we be very clear here. The family of Gabby has made it very clear through their own lawyer. All of Gabby's family want the world to know that Brian is not missing. He is hiding. Gabby is missing. Facts. And that's why all this is important to get the word out as we're all sharing the evidence and things we find. Again, this timeline rather, of when she isn't with him, I think is crucial. Why was he texting her? Again, those are all signs of something went wrong. Now, what's really crazy is the fact that they can't do anything about it. The police are out there wondering, and there's a lot of people wondering, why did he get away? How did he get away? We're going to talk about that, as well as a witness, friend of Gabby's, who spoke to Brian on my next video on this topic. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. I like to make these a little bit more quicker so they get shared out there, so we can get the word out there for you guys to know what to look for. I appreciate all you watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button here, the bell for all alerts, smash that like button, and leave your comment on this topic and anything else, facts you're getting that we need to spread the word out so people are looking. So many resources on this. It's so crazy, but we got to figure out what's going on. I hope we will soon. Prayers go out to Gabby's family. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet.